Okay, we're a minute early, but hey, at least it's not like last Friday's or last Wednesday's stream where I was a minute late. That was when I was playing NASCAR 25. So while I'm waiting for people to join, I'm going to go ahead and get the race settings set up. If you look down at the description, you'll see that all three races will take place in the United States. We will begin here, followed by a 30-lap race at the Glen, and then after a 5-minute break, we will do another 30-lap race at Michelin Raceway in Atlanta. Our first race, however, instead of 30 laps, will be 40 laps. And we got a viewer. Welcome in. Let's go to custom race so we can get our race set up. I want to change my car, though. I was using the Mitsubishi for a race I did at Monza, but I bought dirt tires. I forgot how many laps were in the... hang on, Mr. Kamakishi. Let me get my phone. I have it charging, but it helps to get my phone so I can read the comments. But I hope things are going well for you. I had a really good time seeing you on Wednesday, and I really missed you. Whoops, hang on. Gotta turn the volume off. I forgot how many laps were in this game. Well, depending on what kind of race you do, like if you do a custom race, you can basically set it up to as many as you want. I think the limit is 200, but I don't remember off the top of my head. There we go. That's the car I wanted to switch to. So custom race. We're only going to do 40 though. Usually I would do 50, but because the road course is longer, we're going to have a shorter lap time. I have, however, considered doing a endurance race, but I'm going to save that for another time. Let's see. No boost. Real. We'll put this in fuel consumption to 3 times, and then... yeah, that's fine. We'll switch this to late morning, and I think we'll leave the weather the way it is. What I really like, though, about when you do your custom race is that you can choose cars that you have. We're not doing a one-make race, though. As much as I like the Corvette, we got to make some changes. The Enzo's a lot of fun. I have to upgrade that. I literally just bought it. This is going to be a DB11. We will have a few other types of Corvettes, though. Let me just switch to here. This way, everything's in alphabetical order, and it's easier for me to choose the type of cars that I want to use. Challenger's definitely going in here. I mean, this has a more horsepower than what I'm using, but hey, it's called a Challenger for a reason. I want things to be exciting. And you know, more horsepower doesn't always help you. Sometimes you can have a good car, but you know, if you don't have the right modifications, then you could be in trouble. If you guys have any requests, if you want to see a certain car that you want me to put in here that I'm not using, give me a heads up. I'm definitely looking forward to driving that Camaro, though. I just put this in as one of the racers, and the Roblox Camaro, too. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Oh, there's the Stingray. I didn't put that in yet, though, but that's another one I'm definitely putting in. Along with this. NSX? I think I can do that, Jude. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Or I don't. I thought I did. I'll buy one after this race, though. Gotta add some Vipers, too. Oh, there it is. Just like with the NSX, I thought I had another Viper. But the red and white is actually inspired by Starsky and Hutch. With the red and white I got there. Alright, Firebird. You also gotta have at least like one or two of those cars that underperform. Like, not that you want it to be easier for yourself, but like, you just want to have like at least one car that falls behind the rest of the pack. But I really like Pontiacs. They're a lot of fun to drive. Yeah, I also wanted to add this. We got two more. I know I got a Supra I want to put in here, and I was just driving it too a couple days ago. Not that, the green one. And then, what the hell? Let's put in the Chevelle. I was going to save that for another time, but I think this is a pretty good lineup. I just wish you could have more cars. You know, like instead of being limited to just 20. I think we'll put this off. I might switch the flag rules if you guys really want me to, but usually I like racing without the flags. I try to have the least amount of regulations as possible. Same thing with the wall collision correcting thing. Like if you hit the wall, same thing with the penalty thing too. Like if you get penalized for hitting the wall, I think that's kind of pointless. You shouldn't be penalized for having an accident. Like, what I especially find unfair about it is, let's say you're just minding your own business. I really overshot that corner. Don't worry, that's why I got nitrous. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so like that, if you were to get spun out and you were forced to hit the wall by another driver, you shouldn't get penalized for that. Oh, Jesus. I need better suspension for this thing. I remember a Corvette like this in F1 the movie where it had a blown engine. I'm hoping I can avoid that. Seeing Brad Pitt drive a Porsche going against that BMW is a lot of fun, but let's not forget the fact that it's called F1 the movie. All the Formula One sequences were really, really cool. Yeah, much of that was unintentional, dude. It was my fault. I'm not afraid to admit it. I overshot the first corner, and I did not mean to spin out the Dodge Charger. I also did not mean to wreck the GTO earlier, but uh-oh. That other Corvette hit the Camaro. I haven't done this in a while, so like I said, I'm not afraid to admit I have some practice to do. Who's in the lead? Some guy by the name of Bridges. I wonder if he's responsible for constructing bridges. There's the Challenger. I had a feeling that would be up in front. Tailgating an Aston Martin. Kind of realistic. Not all Challenger drivers are like that, but I have certainly seen a lot of people... Jesus Christ, I did it again. I thought I had it. Oh God, listen to the heavy on the Challenger. That is beautiful. Damn it. You know what they say, accidents happen. Oh, Jesus. Maybe he got angry that I hit the Aston Martin. Damn it. I thought if I just tapped the circle, I would have enough to not do that. Jesus. Where's a mirror when you need one? I was just about to say, hey, I avoided the tires, but I didn't. Well, I went down a few positions. I started in 7th, but we'll get there eventually. We'll get back. I'm surprised the Stingray isn't able to catch up. I put everything on professional, as you saw, and the Stingray 2014 model is actually faster than the one we're driving. I did a test on Route X Lap Attack, and the Stingray actually has a higher top speed. My head itches, probably because I'm sweating. I was kind of expecting someone to say, hey, you are not a good driver. Like, I know I made a few mistakes, but I'm getting the hang of it now. Oh, Jesus. And like I said, I need better suspension on this car. I probably could get the racing soft tires for better grip, but you also need to adjust your suspension so that you get your car to the right angle, and also if you have it low enough to the ground, it helps you go faster. But as you can tell right now, speed's not really our main concern. We just need to do a better job controlling the car so that we don't go sideways and back into the grass. So I mentioned the Roblox Camaro earlier. That's the red car on our right. If I switch the camera angle here, might be hard to see with the lack of lighting, but the license plate, there you go, you can see now, it says oof. And there's also a smiley face on the door. Back to the Challenger. And there goes the C6 Corvette ZR1. ZR1s are really popular, along with the C6 models in general. Like, even though they haven't been in production since 2013, they're still pretty common, along with the C4s. I mean, for a classic car from the 80s and 90s, oh my God! That Challenger. My goodness. Guess he needs new tires. On the Challenger, I was actually driving that yesterday, and I realized I should probably adjust the suspension, not the suspension, the transmission, because I've packed in a lot of horsepower. However, if you floor it in a certain gear, you get a lot of wheel slip, and it can be hard to control. Probably even harder than this thing. But if you have the transmission set to a higher speed and you get all your gears in the right place, you can have it be better. Your acceleration might be slower, but at least your tires will get the grip they need because the engine's running at a lower RPM. Tank's half empty. If I can do a little bit of drafting off of this other Corvette, I think we'll be fine until lap 7. I probably could go till lap 8, considering where the gauge is right now and how far we've gone. But I want to pit a little earlier. Oh my God, poor Supra. That other Corvette literally just straight up rear-ended him. Alright. So I think I found the perfect braking spot on the straightaway. Somehow I have the fastest lap time. You know, one thing I really want to do, you might have seen me do this, it was years ago. I did a couple of races like this, but on dirt tracks. I've also considered doing that for Lake Louise too. Lake Louise is a lot of fun. when that track was added in an update a few years ago, I was really happy to finally see a snow track. Asphalt racing will always be my favorite. Like any track where the road surface is asphalt, like Daytona or Watkins Glen or any type of race you can think of, like this, or Formula One, for instance. That'll always be my favorite, but I really have a soft spot for off-road racing. Cut the corner a little bit there. I can't tell what car that is. That might be the orange DB11. Oh, you know what? That might also be the C4. It's pitting. Oh, wait. Now, there we go. That was the 2019. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to have to pit, too. Shit. I was hoping to avoid that, but for once, I'm happy my car got reset. Seriously, though, I thought the right rear could hold out for a little bit longer, but I am definitely going to have to pit by the end of this lap. Uh-oh. Much of the time when I'm playing this game, I don't have tire wear or fuel consumption on, so I got to get out of my comfort zone and learn how to do better. Should be fine here, depending on how fast I go. Banking really does help you turn. That's why when I did my NASCAR 25 live stream a week ago, I only pitted for tires once. But to be fair, the tire wear was a lot less severe than on here. I only had it set to 2x instead of 3x. Oh my god, I'm surprised I haven't had a blowout yet. At least there's a few other cars pitting with us. Alright, so we definitely have to change tires. And we might as well refuel too, since we will practically be empty by the end of the next lap. I should definitely go for a full tank. I know we're not going to be able to make it the end of the race, but at the same time, I kind of also want to get less fuel so I can get back sooner. If I drop down to 10th, I'll stop refueling, because I feel like if I stop at a certain amount, my tank will be empty when I have to get more tires anyway, so I'm basically doing myself a favor. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. I love this. I remember when the C6 Corvette also had this as well, and funny enough, there it is right in front of us. This is a really cool feature, how you can actually see your speed and everything else on your window. I have a feature like this on my Buick Encore, but instead of showing my speed, you have these red lights flash up if you get too close to a car. And I think it has automatic brakes if you get too close to a car, but I am not going to risk finding out. I always try to follow other drivers from a safe distance, but sometimes you might have other drivers do certain things that force you to come to a stop sooner than you expect. I didn't know where that guy was going, so I had to try and guess. I thought I would be okay on the left, but then he made his way to the right. Alright, we got more cars going in the pit, and it looks like the leader is also refueling. I saw my yellow Camaro there. I doubt my friend Carl's watching this. Oh, fuck. Once again, something I've tried to avoid, but I'm glad it did that for me. Oh, this is a cool camera angle. I love the way the red Corvette looks. Now, usually I like blue on Corvettes. That's why I have it on the C3, this model, and the C6 we saw earlier. Plus the Challenger. I also have it in blue for that reason, too. But the reason I got my C4 in red was actually a reference to the 1987 G.I. Joe movie. It was just a brief scene, and I'm sure they didn't say it was a Corvette to avoid copyright reasons, but you can clearly tell it's based off of the C4 model. Not to mention, on Internet Movie Cars database, you see a screenshot of the car and it says C4 Corvette. I still find it hard to believe that Duke is voiced by the same guy that did the voice of Chucky's dad in Rugrats. That's still really cool, though. I like that. The voice actor is Michael Bell. And if you like Smurfs, you might also remember Michael doing the voice of Handy Smurf and Grouchy Smurf. Grouchy's probably one of my favorites. Especially when you hear him complaining about certain things, like he says that he hates doing a certain thing and he's still doing it. I never get tired of that. Alright. Sometimes I forget there's an airport nearby and I just noticed a plane in the background. So I mentioned NASCAR with the video game NASCAR 25. If you ever watch the NASCAR movie Days of Thunder, they actually do have an airplane taking off near the track towards the ending. Tom Cruise and Robert Duvall really did well in that movie, as did John C. Reilly, who, funny enough, also played a character in another NASCAR movie, Talladega Nights. John C. Reilly is one of those actors that does both comedy and other things. Like, you could call him an all-rounder, if you will, because I also remember seeing him in The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio. I thought he was great in that. I don't care for the musical Chicago, but I remember John C. Reilly being in that too. But one of my favorite movies he was ever in, that I ever saw him in, was Step Brothers. Now, just like Talladega Nights, John and Will Ferrell started together in that movie. Well, we finally made our way up to first place, but that 2019 CR1 or ZR1 is putting up a fight, and the GTO is attacking the Supra. A lot of people really don't seem to like that car. I'm probably going to get reset again. I fucking hope not. I mean, it has helped me a couple times so far, but I'd rather just do it myself, like fix my mistake and just continue. Sorry. Man, the GTO is looking really badass here. I think when I go to Michelin, I'm going to have to drive one of my classic muscle cars. That's why I wanted to save the Chevelle for later. I got a lot of 70s cars, if you haven't noticed, and if I were to race one of my muscle cars, I wouldn't have all the contestants be muscle cars, mind you, but I would have a lot of 60s and 70s cars. Like, I'd have a couple of Daytomasos, a few Ferraris. I think I would change things up by having a 1988 Countach, but the Countach was in production beginning in 1974. Probably should have gotten off the brakes a bit sooner there. Rear tires are definitely in bad shape compared to the fronts. What I'd like to see, though, if they ever decide to change this, if they don't, it's fine. But I would like to see if you had an option to change just a certain amount of tires instead of being forced to do all four. Uh-oh. Good thing I got off the throttle when I did. And I don't even know why I called it the throttle just now. The gas. Throttle's for when you drive the train. Once again, at least we have... No. Don't go sideways. I probably shouldn't have tried to go backwards. Ah, damn it. I gotta stop jinxing myself. I said I was in first the first time we passed the 2019 ZR1, and then I went very far off course. And now I just did it again. We got to catch up to the 2009 ZR1. The ZR1s definitely seem to be the best of the Corvettes. My favorite, though, will always be the C3, because the style is just amazing. It's not the fastest of all the Corvettes. I realize that, because generally, when you're making a newer version of a car, you want to typically add more horsepower and make it better overall. But I really like what they did with the C3s, especially the mid-70s models. Those were a lot of fun. Now, yes, there were a couple of moments where some of the C3s were underpowered, like especially from the early 80s, but still, there's a reason why that body style lasted 14 years. That's the longest of all the Corvettes. Right rear is starting to be a bit shitty again, but I think I'm okay. Just gotta hold off this guy so I can keep going. I love all these different flags you have here, too. I love, too, the hiss of the nitrous when you activate it. Uh-oh. Saved it. When I heard the tires screeching, I knew it was going to try and go sideways again. Now, sometimes I will try to drift the car on purpose. Like, you might have seen me activate the emergency brakes here and there, but typically I try to keep it straight without going sideways, because again, I'm not afraid to admit it, I am not the best drifter in this game. Drifting is complicated, you know. You gotta have the steering wheel set to the right angle, you gotta know how much gas to use, and sometimes you also have to apply the brakes at the right time. Like, I have a good understanding on how to drift. I actually did it once in a Volvo I used to have several years ago, but again, I am not the best at it. There are moments where I screw up and I can't do as good as I'm supposed to. But once again, we're going to head into the pits to change our tires. I know it's probably not going to make much of a difference, but I want to try and pass this guy. I don't think there's speeding penalties in this game, but all the same, it just made sense for me to try and slow down. Typically, the speed limit for Daytona on pit road is 55 miles an hour. I don't know if it's for, like, every racing series that comes here or if it's just limited to NASCAR, but that's just me. I really like the road course, though. I'm hoping that NASCAR decides to do a race here one day. Like, usually they just do the normal tri-oval. Months ago, just a few days before this year's Daytona 500, I actually did a story about that race. And here's the funny thing, even though it takes place in this year, every part of the story I wrote actually took place or was actually done from 2023 to 2025. So, like, even though I intended to have the story set in the future, I actually did not get the story published until this year. Nevertheless, I'd say that's pretty good timing. Thought I was going to hit the Viper. I'm glad I didn't. We're in 4th right now. Oh, crap. That really could have been worse. Alright, that time I didn't put on the emergency brakes. I just used too much throttle. Ah, there I go again. I missed, though, in Gran Turismo 5 or Gran Turismo 6, you could push the X button down to a certain amount and you didn't necessarily have to floor it. You could accelerate, but you weren't at 100% gas. Ever since Gran Turismo Sport, they haven't done that. Gran Turismo Sport and in this game, no matter how hard you press on the X button, you're always going to floor it. Which I guess makes sense. You're racing, you want to try and go as fast as you can, but that doesn't always necessarily mean you have to floor it. In Motorfest, you have the option to not floor it when you're driving your car. Like, you just push down on R2 and you can have your gas at a certain level. That wasn't a bad drift, if I may say so. Not the best, but I'm just glad I didn't spin out. Oh, I love the way the engine sounds when you change cameras. Sorry if I gave you guys a seizure, I just had to do that. Oh. Once again, you gotta use a certain amount of gas to not go sideways. I think I pulled that off just fine. I'm so used to when on that specific corner there where I had more tire wear, that felt easier to me for some reason, because every time I have new tires with no tire wear, I always get close to hitting that part of the wall. What's annoying though is that I hit L2 and sometimes it doesn't change gears. And I know the L2 button's working fine. Every other game I play, like Battlefront or Train Sim World, I always hit the L2 button and it always does what I need it to. The problem in this game is very rare. I mean, it only happens like once every few minutes, but when you're changing gears and you want to get down to a certain level, it can be a pain sometimes. There's the Venom though. That's why I upshifted a bit early there. I didn't want to get too close to him. Plus, when you shift earlier than you're supposed to, the engine runs at a lower RPM, which allows you to save fuel. That way, when I'm changing my tires, I spend less time in the pits, and I can just get back to what I was doing. We have an 8-second lead right now. So I guess when I go back to pits, it's not going to matter how much fuel I get. Oh, we're out of nitrous. Oh well, we shouldn't need it anymore. We're close to the halfway point of this race. I braked too early. Ah, well. You know, it'd be really cool to see Buick make a car like this. I heard they're going to have a sedan for the U.S. market next year. But typically all the sedans they make right now are for the Asian markets, especially China. I'm happy with my Encore, though. Like, as I said, it may not be my favorite car, but I'm going to enjoy having it for a while. And when I say a while, I mean like a few years. I might also get the Invista. I think that's a pretty cool looking car. I'm not the biggest SUV fan out there, but something about the way they styled the Invista kind of reminds me of a 1940 sedan. Like, it's kind of like the same shape as the SUV, but it wasn't considered an SUV. Like, it was a lot taller than many other sedans that came in later years. That's kind of also why I got my Encore. I got the 2023 GX model, and it's pretty good. Alright, nope, we got everything okay. We're doing good. I probably won't get the fastest lap ever again, but at least I know I can stay ahead of these guys. There's that airplane again. And a Ferris wheel. I sure would love to go on that. Maybe we'll ride the Ferris wheel as part of our victory celebration. Damn it, I wasn't even using any throttle there. I got off the X button because I knew it was going sideways and I wanted to not spin out. Alright. So far, so good. 10-second gap now. Minagisi. Alright, I think I got it for once the right way. Usually, when I get to that chicane, I'm either braking too late or too early, but I think that went fine. I probably could have gone a little faster in one of those sections, but I'm just glad I got out of there unscathed. Uh-oh. That kind of helped me with going slow in this corner, but... I should be able to go one more lap before I go back for tires. That's another reason to shift early. That way you don't have to worry about your tires spinning. It'll probably help too if I put this to that. That way you don't have to worry about your car losing traction. The engine on this thing sounds beautiful. Now, I get there's people out there that don't like this version of the Corvette because it's mid-engine. Yes, Jude. Or Lord Kamikishi. Do you prefer if I call you by your real name or if I just go by your username? Because I know there's some people out there that prefer, like, not having their real name said. Like, I've got a friend who has an account which he hasn't used in years, but he always went by the name to Thunderbird Zero, and one time I said his real name in a video, and he's like, hey, can you please delete that? Alright, we're pitting. But yeah, back to your question. This is a PlayStation exclusive. That might change, though. I mean, I haven't read anything about it changing, but I speculate that it might change because Microsoft made Forza available for PlayStation when that used to be an Xbox exclusive. But there are a couple of games like Gran Turismo or Forza that are like different franchises that you can get on both consoles, like The Crew, for instance. I'll really be happy to play Motorfest in my next stream. I just don't know when that's going to be, because I've got a pretty busy schedule over the next few weeks. My next live stream might not be till June, but I will keep you and everyone else posted. If you go into the... Hang on, let me double check. If you go into community posts on my main page, that's typically where I talk about all my live streams. You might also see me do some updates on DeviantArt. I might also consider mentioning it to a few friends on Facebook. Like I talked about my very first live stream that I did last month in April. But then my dad saw the Facebook post and was like, hey, so when's your live stream? This was when I was visiting him the following day. And I said to him, oh, Dad, that was yesterday. He thought I was actually going to go out to see some trains. I guess he didn't watch the video. He just saw, like, the post, but did not watch the video because he thought I was going to film some real trains as part of my live stream. Which actually isn't a bad idea. I mean, I am glad he mentioned that to me, because some of my live streams I also considered running my miniature trains in my basement. Because I know a lot of people that have subscribed to me in the past did it typically because of all my train-related content. But I have other interests that don't involve trains too. Like, this is one of them. I might actually consider doing some stop-motion videos about cars. Like, I've got a ginormous Hot Wheels collection, and I used some of those Hot Wheels when I did my satire series, The Bad Quality Adventures of Thomas and Friends, but I want to try and create my own original stories and just do, like, a stop-motion production of miniature cars just driving around and causing havoc. Kind of something like Gone in 60 Seconds. One story I also considered doing would also be similar to Bullet, but instead of being in San Francisco, it would take place in New York City, and it would be in 1955. I've actually already collected a few 143 scale cars for that purpose. I got the 55 Buick, along with a 1954 Mercedes 300. There's also a few Cadillacs, a Ford station wagon, along with another car from 1955, a Pontiac. I mostly got the Pontiac, though, because of the color it was in. I liked the yellow and black it had. Yellow and black seems to be a really good color combination on cars. I also like it on the Dodge Viper, but ever since I played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, when that game was practically new, my favorite color scheme for the Viper was red with white stripes. That's kind of also why I did a Starsky and Hutch inspired paint scheme for my 2002 GTS. If they ever decided to do a sequel to Starsky and Hutch that took place after the 70s, when the original go into retirement with their Gran Torino, their offspring could take over with a Viper. I didn't think the Firebird was going to try and get on my right there. I thought he was going to follow me. He's a few laps down at this point. I'm kind of surprised he gave me a bit of a fight there. Oop. I remember to stay off that curb there. Oh, the Firebird's closing in. "32 seconds? God damn. Last lap, when I was starting to get on the backstretch, I was only a second in front of the other cars. Oh, and I guess I can see why, considering that a lot of people right now are pitting. But holy Christ. My nickname is Comma in real. Oh, hang on, let me read your comment. Because, like I said, when I'm reading it on my television screen, it doesn't show the whole comment. My nickname is Comma in real life and online. Okay, I guess I'll just stick with that. I mean, obviously, when I see you in person, when we're not online, I'll still call you by your real name. But if you prefer that I call you Comma here and other spots online, I'll do that too. Because like I said, if you don't want people knowing your real life name, I completely get it. I mean, I'm kind of different. I wanted to have my real name as my username, just in case someone was interested in hiring me as a photographer. Oh yeah, I love Motorfest too. That's why I said I'm going to do that for my next live stream. The trouble is, sorry Aston Martin, the trouble is, I'm going to have a busy schedule over the next couple of weeks. So I don't know when my next live stream is going to be on here. I've also considered starting doing live streams on Twitch. I was considering waiting until I get the 5 followers. I mean, I've got 4 right now, but I wanted to wait till 5. But I've been thinking about it. I mean, 1 short's not going to be too bad. I'll probably get 5 followers during my first live stream on there. I did not mean to get on the apron like that. Oh yeah? You do yours on Twitch? Well, send me a message on Instagram so that I can follow your account. If you want to post it on here too, I'm sure there'd be a few other followers that would like to see you. I've got another friend. I highly doubt he's ever going to join because he doesn't have a YouTube account, but he's been a good friend of mine for 16 years. He goes by the name of Brett Denica. Brett, if you're watching this, I hope you follow my buddy here. Give Lord Kamakishi the love he deserves. I kind of forgot what I was going to say, but I remember now. Regarding my next YouTube stream, it's most likely going to be in June. Kamakura XXS. All right, very good. Once the stream is over, I'll be sure to hop on the Twitch and give you a follow there. My username is basically the same as what I have here, but I added a 96 at the end because I was born in 1996. Still can't believe I'm going to be 30 later this year. Where does the time go? Like, sometimes you get to a certain point in your life and you find it difficult to believe that you actually made it, you know? Like, I felt the same way when I was turning 25 in 2021. I'm not crazy consistent, but yeah, I'll probably be doing that too. Like, maybe once or twice a week, depending on what my schedule's like. I probably won't even be on there for long. My Twitch streams will probably only be like 2 hours long at the most. Oh, you turned 20? Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to be in your 20s soon. I remember when I first met you, I think it was at my Aunt Noel's house in 2020, you were a teenager. And boy, did we have a lot of good times. Not just with cars, but also a lot of Overwatch-related stuff. I don't know if you're a fan of the franchise now. I mean, I still like Overwatch, but I stopped playing the game 3 years ago. I still like the franchise, but I feel like ever since Activision and Microsoft took over Blizzard, I felt like the game's been going downhill. What's your opinion on it? Do you think it's still good? Should I give it another try? Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I know you love Genji. I mean, he's the best character in the game, and he has the best voice lines, especially when it comes to "I need healing." It's getting better? Okay. Well, I guess, yeah, I've seen some of the heroes. There's one I really like. I think her name is Freya or Freyja, depending on how the J is pronounced. I did see another one from Talon, though, this Italian lady. I don't remember her name. Reinhardt, yeah, Reinhardt. I'm not gonna lie, Reinhardt's not my favorite compared to some of the others. When it came to tanks, I was a bigger fan of Orisa, because her shield actually lasted the longest, and typically when you play Overwatch, when you're a tank, the purpose of having a shield is to protect your teammates. And I felt like Reinhardt's was good. It lasted a long time. But what I liked about Orisa better was that her shield was on a cooldown. It was at a certain point where even if the shield was about to deactivate from damage, you could still go right ahead and spawn a new one. So, like, you basically had a continuous shield. I don't think you can do that anymore, but another tank I really liked playing was Sigma. I'm actually considering doing a another video in a few days that shows a lot of these funny / unhinged moments. And Sigma's going to be in there, because I was doing his voice. And, you know, he shouts a lot. He's like, "Barrier unstable. The barrier no longer exists." And I think I just saw a plane behind part of the track. I saw something going to the left. It looked like the rear of a plane. I can't tell, though. I'm going to have to do some research on Google Maps and see how far away the airport is from this track at Daytona. And considering where my right rear is, I am surprised I haven't spun out yet. Nope. There we go. I can still make it, though. And by the way, oh, hang on. I've been doing a bunch of Overwatch with my friends, and I've gotten really good at... Yeah, Reaper, I find, is not a difficult character to play as. I was going to say easy, but I've found easier characters than him to play as. But yeah, Reaper's pretty good, especially when you get the chance to heal yourself each time you shoot your enemies. There we go. But I meant to read your other comment where you said that you liked playing melee heroes too. Some of my favorites, I really liked playing Bastion, especially when we were on the what was it? The payload maps. Especially if you're on offense, I could just hop as Bastion on top of the payload and mow down all the defenses. I'd consider it amusing, though, if Bastion had the exact same voice as Baymax. And he's like, "Hello, I am Bastion, your personal healthcare companion. Then he shoots someone with his minigun, and he's like, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain? I'll have some peanuts while I wait. I'm glad I got these peanuts. This is from Stop and Shop, or not Stop and Shop, Target. It's one of their personal brands called Good and Gather. Oh, yeah. I heard about the compilation. Let me just pause so I can read the rest of your comment. So, Fortnite, I saw they had Genji. You also said they had Mercy, Diva, and Tracer. Okay. I mean, when you're doing a lot of Overwatch-related stuff, you gotta have Tracer. I mean, she's like the main character in the franchise. Ah, there is an airplane there. I see one now. Yeah, that's the rear of an airplane. That's like the top of the whatever you call that thing. I was gonna say the fin. Poster child, yeah. Thank you, Lord Kamikishi. That's definitely Tracer for you. I don't remember where it is. I know I've got a Lego minifigure of Tracer with Widowmaker. Kiriko, oh yeah. That's a bit surprising. I've seen a lot of fan art of Kiriko. I'm not going to say what she's doing, but certain websites, there's a lot of people that like having her do certain things. And, oh yeah, I've got Lego Genji too. I think it's the Hanamura set from the one cartoon they did where Genji and Hanzo were fighting with their reunion. I want to do a parody though where Genji defeats Hanzo, and yet he has the arrogance to say that Genji didn't beat him. He's like, you did not win. You did not lose, but you did not win. And then Genji says something like, I am the best character in Overwatch. It does not matter whether I win or lose. As long as I am alive, I will always be more popular than you. And then there's definitely going to be a SpongeBob reference in there. Season 1 reference, I should say. I know some people don't like modern SpongeBob, but there's definitely going to be a classic reference from Season 1. I loved a lot of the interactions they had too when you were waiting in spawn. You might be able to find it somewhere, Lord Kamikishi. I know there's definitely going to be some Lego Genji somewhere. I doubt they're in production anymore, but you'll most likely find a few somewhere if you search on Google. Your best bet would either be eBay or Amazon. That didn't go the way I wanted it to. I know I got into the grass by accident. But at least we still have the lead. Earlier I said that most people don't like the Corvette simply because of where they placed the engine. Instead of having the engine at the front like the older Corvettes did, you might already know it's behind the driver. They call it mid-engine. But I like it, you know, it's pretty cool. I still think it'd be cool if they did like a front engine model to go alongside with this one. But for people that are upset with this type of Corvette for having the engine behind the driver, you should bear in mind that Chevrolet has been doing prototypes with mid-engined Corvettes for a number of years. One guy I used to work with at Quick Check did not like this a lot. In fact, whenever we talked about the C8 Corvette, he always said that they put the cart before the horse. You also have to bear in mind, too, a lot of successful supercar manufacturers have been doing this for a number of years. Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren. I might be wrong when I say Aston Martin. They usually have their engine in the front, too, like the Corvettes did. But, yeah, there's a lot of good cars that have a mid-engine or rear-engine setup. And it doesn't always have to be a supercar, too. Like the Beetle, they originally had the engine at the back. Oh, yeah, that's right. NSX was mid-engine and demolished Ferrari Lamborghini. Yeah, Honda, when they first made that car, was basically like, hey, you Italians have a lot of reliability problems. Let us show you how it's done. You'll be pleased to know as well that I actually saw a old NSX at work. It didn't stop for gas, of course, but it drove past my store, and it was really cool to see. I don't think it was one of the first generation models from the 90s, but it definitely was not a new one, I can tell you that. I want to guess it was a 99 or 2002. I like, too, how the NSS looks like during and after 2012. I haven't done this yet for this game, but in Gran Turismo Sport, I actually painted a NSX to look like Genji. I gave it a silver paint job with a green grille and a green racing stripe. And I actually called the paint scheme I Need Healing. It was also cool adding the Overwatch logo. Yeah, the NSX really is fun. My favorite car of all time is the Corvette. I mean, I like a Type R. Yeah, I think that is the NSX I saw in real life. Again, I don't remember what year it was from. I want to say it was either 1999 or 2002. If you were there and you saw that car with me, you would definitely know right off the spot, or like right on the spot. Before I had to replace my Cruze with my Buick, I actually was considering getting a Honda. I wanted the Ridgeline, but it was just a bit too expensive. Ridgelines are pretty cool, though. I do like those. I think Honda should try and make a couple more trucks. Like, imagine if they did something to compete with the F-150. I think it would even be better than the F-150. And again, even though I'm not the biggest SUV fan, I will say I also like the Passport that Honda's done. That what they're doing right now, the brand new model, is really nice, as is the case with the CR-V. Uh-oh. Sorry. The Roblox Camaro gave me a good bump there. And so did the C7. Now, the paint scheme I made for the C7, it's not perfect, but I did name it after a Transformers character. I called it the Bumblebee Stingray. Now, even though it's not perfect, considering that it only has one stripe instead of two, the yellow and black, I think, looks really good together. It was too far away for me to see. That NSX that I saw in person was just driving down the highway, and I was too far away to see it. 10 laps remaining. Soon to be 9 if I really thought the McLaren's going to try and hit me. Ah, dang it. Gotta remember, the tire wear is kicking in. I can't go as fast as I used to. Ooh. Did you see the drift that yellow Corvette did? That was awesome. The Bumblebee Stingray did impressive. Alright, so here is my pit strategy for the remainder of the race. when we get back past turns 3 and 4, or they would be turns 3 and 4 if we weren't on the road course. But we are definitely going to pit at the end of this lap. Now, obviously, we can't get to the rest of the race with those tires, but I think if we pit around lap 35, we should be okay. Then that way we won't also need to worry about getting more fuel. Like, we'll just get enough to finish the race, and that's that. Okay, I'll stop now. I gotta concentrate. I don't want to spin out of control like that, but it was fun having the camera go back and forth and hearing the engine go. Yep, we're coming in. Oh, wow. All right. How am I still in the lead? Oh, there we go. Peanut time. Gotta enjoy more of these peanuts. Alright, I think that's enough. Like I said, we'll pit again at the end of lap 35, and we'll worry about getting more fuel later. Uh-oh. Thought I was going to go in the grass there that time. I'm glad I didn't. Hi, C4. I missed you. Probably going to pass me again. I definitely should have started going on the brake sooner. Nope, we're good. I mean, he's in 6th. He's lapped, so even if he did pass us, it wouldn't affect us. Same thing with that Firebird. Oh, Kamakishi. I want to do something else on here. I did this again in Gran Turismo Sport, but not in this version of the game. They have a fictional version of the RX that they call a Vision car. And I actually painted it orange and black, just like Han's RX-7 from Tokyo Drift. It was pretty cool, though, seeing him drive the new Supra in Fast 9, again with the orange and black paint scheme. Did part 2 of the 10th movie ever come out in theaters? I thought it was supposed to last year, but I haven't heard anything about it. Yeah, that's the RX-7 I was telling you about. The Vio side is really, really cool. Okay, so part 2 didn't come out yet? Okay. I'm really surprised. I thought it was supposed to come out last year. That's usually what they do with the movies, you know. They had like a 2-year gap. Like you had Fast and Furious, the 4th movie came out in 2009, then 5 came out in 2011, 6 was 13, 7 was 15, 8 was 2028. My God. Well, I guess it's worth the wait, you know. They do say that you can't rush perfection. I'm also looking forward to seeing more of Brie Larson's character. Brie, in part 1, played the daughter of Kurt Russell's character. So she was basically called a Little Miss Nobody. I think she survived. I know her character got attacked, but I think she'll still be alive for part 2. Brie Larson also played Captain Marvel. I thought she was good in that. One of my favorite female characters in Fast and Furious was Gal Gadot, who played Gazelle. She, like Brie, also played a superhero, but instead of anything Marvel-related, Gal played Wonder Woman. I thought she was good in that role, too. What's funny, though, is that I remember reading about this years ago. There were a lot of people complaining that Gal did not have big enough breasts to play Wonder Woman. But I saw her in the 2017 film, and I'd say they're, like, reasonably sized, but, like, either way, I mean, like, why should that affect someone from playing... Why should that prevent someone from playing a certain character? I mean... If you want to have, like, a certain appeal to a character, fine, but that's not always the important thing. Oh, God. I thought I was going to ruin the... That might be true. I mean, I know she got complaints from being the witch in the Snow White remake. But for that one, they said she looked too nice to be the witch. They should have had her do Rachel Zegler's role instead, I think is what people were saying. I didn't really have any interest for the remake. I mean, we already know it's bad. I didn't even attempt to watch it. One movie I really want to see from Disney, though, is called Hoppers. Now, I know that's not in theaters anymore, so I missed my chance, but I'm definitely going to buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. Oh, no, don't spin out. Thank you. Wasn't even trying to drift there. Wasn't even trying to drift there either. It's funny how sometimes when you intend to drift, you do bad. But when you're not trying to drift, you end up doing better than you would, like, if you were attempting to drift. Like, I'll never forget this one time I was driving my Volvo. I said I did a drift in there, which turned out good. But when I tried doing another drift on this road covered in rain, I actually oversteered and then nearly hit a tree. So I am really glad I avoided that. I don't know what it is or how, but I seem to get lucky in a lot of situations. Like, I know that was a bad thing, but the fact that I avoided hitting the tree, I am really, really glad I avoided that. It's because you focus more, giving you time to work through oversteer. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a good point there. That's a good point. I got a notification from another YouTuber. I guess he's playing an older NASCAR game called NASCAR 2006 Total Team Control. I can't wait to see what the video is, of course, since I'm busy doing this, but I'm excited to see what he does. So, like I said, that is our very last pit stop for this race. I decided to come in early, just so I know I'd have enough tires, or good enough tires, to finish the race. And that's also why I didn't fill up the tank, because I know we're going to make it to the end. I shouldn't go down to second next time I go in that area. Because it was fine when I was in third, but as soon as I dropped down to second, I started having more wheel slip. I might need to adjust this a little more, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. And I'm going to overshoot the corner again. Oh well. Like I said, I know we'll have good enough tires and enough fuel to finish the rest of the race. We just got to go around here 3 more times. What time even is it? 11:45. Okay, I had a feeling it was close to noon. But like I said, our next race at Watkins Glen, as well as the Michelin road course, both of those will be 30 laps, but I think the Watkins Glen race, I'll try and go for a shorter version than what we're doing here. Like, instead of doing a 3-mile track, we'll just go around a shorter version. And then, when Watkins Glen is over, I'll take a 5-minute break to walk my dogs. Then, we'll finish our third and final race at Atlanta, the Michelin Park. Why do I keep calling it Michigan? I know it's not in Michigan, it's in Georgia, but like every time I try to say Michelin, well, not every time, I've said it several times before making that mistake, but instead of Michelin, I end up calling it Michigan instead. But I'll tell you one part of Michigan I really enjoyed seeing last year, the Henry Ford Museum. That was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of different types of machines you can see too. Cars, planes, trains, even a few bicycles here and there. There are even a few steam-powered machines not used for railroading, like tractors and other farming equipment. Of course, if you know me, the trains were my favorite part of the museum. But it was still cool seeing like everything else they had there. The cars especially. One of my favorite cars was the 1948 Tucker Torpedo. I was really happy to see that. There was also a really cool 56 Bel Air alongside a Studebaker. Strangely enough, the museum also had a modern Chevrolet Bolt, but that was side by side with a 59 Cadillac Eldorado. I guess they wanted you to see the difference between modern and classic cars. For a museum named after Ford's founder, though, I was surprised with the multiple cars there that were not from the Ford Motor Company. You had a lot of Chevys like the Bel Air and Bolt I mentioned earlier, along with a Indy car. There was also a 90s Dodge Dakota, a Chrysler Imperial. You know, I think it was a New Yorker. I know it was from the 70s. There was also a Chevrolet Corvair, a 1960s Toyota Celica, a Volkswagen Beetle, and a World War II Jeep. Now, to be fair, the Jeep is justified because even though Ford originally made the Jeep and called it the GPW, they lost the contract to another company called Willis, which was headquartered in Toledo, Ohio. Willis, in the 30s and 40s, competed against the Big Three, along with many other manufacturers, but by the 50s, Willis had to merge with another company, or a few other companies. I think they were called Kaiser and Hudson. But eventually that would turn into AMC. Now AMC was still making the Jeep throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But by 1987, AMC went out of business and was taken over by Chrysler. Which is why they've had the rights to the brand ever since. Come on, don't screw me up now. Second to last lap, I still have the lead. Gap's definitely gotten shorter because of my screw up. Now, I have this on professional too, the hardest difficulty, mind you. If that orange ZR1 comes up to tailgate me again, I'm going to be surprised. Or not surprised. We'll see what happens. I definitely braked too early. Just one more lap and the gold is ours. I think Bridges is the guy driving the 2019 Corvette. That's why he has the fastest lap. And that's why he was also giving us a run for our money earlier. It's so odd starting to slow down at the start-finish line before the race ends, but that is exactly where you want to be to not miss the corner like I did several times. Ah, crap. I definitely should have stayed behind the McLaren. I was trying to draft so I could go a little faster and save fuel, but I should have tried to brake and just stay behind him. Oh wait, no, that's the 2009 Corvette. That's the car catching up to us. It's not driven by Bridges. It's driven by a Japanese person by the name of Minagishi. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to stay in third. Okay, this time I'm drifting on purpose. So long, McLaren. Nice knowing you. Alright, once again I overshot the corner, but that is okay. That time it's okay too, because we got to load up our gap and get further away from Minagishi. Don't tell me to refuel, we're almost done. Now usually there's a song that plays when you win, but I decided to turn that off to avoid copyright. I mean, I'd probably just get like a few copyright claims, but you know, I don't want to risk having that turn into a copyright strike. I know there's a broadcast mode where it gets rid of the copyrighted songs, but I'd rather just turn it off anyway because there's a few more videos I'm going to be doing of this game that are not live streams. That also includes the last several episodes of Roudix Lap Attack. Alright, Jude requested a NSX, or my friend Lord Kamakishi. So let's go buy one for him. I just got to go get my daily gift, because when you drive 26 miles, you get free stuff. Yay. Ooh, hello, Aston. I'm hoping to get those 5 gold bars, but it didn't. I feel like when it comes to the ticket system, they kind of screw you over. Like you see the 5 options you have, and it's like, oh, we know you want the best one, but hey, guess what? You don't get it. You're gonna get the worst option possible. You're welcome. I feel like they would say you're welcome as a way to be an ass to you. Oh, wait, Honda. Duh. Why do they do that? Acura used to be in the game as well, or the older Gran Turismo games, but they decided not to include that this time, which kind of makes sense. But I still like to see Acura be like Lexus. You know the company Lexus, owned by Toyota, where all their cars are available worldwide? I think Honda should try to do the same thing with Acura. Well, you said you liked the older NSXs, so we'll go ahead with the Type R here. Yellow looks good. Let's do that. When was the last time you've seen a green Honda? I was actually considering doing that. Like, I'll either get the CR-V for off-road racing or a Civic, and I thought, hey, let's get a green Honda. I'll go ahead and race this for the Glen, but obviously we have a lot of upgrades to do. We have got to get this at least to 500 horsepower. I don't know how much horsepower this thing's going to have, but if I can get it over 500, that would be great. If not, then so be it. Alright. Could you imagine getting dirt tires for this thing? I mean, I know it's not four-wheel drive, but I still have a feeling that someone could do that. Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune 5DX has... Oh, yeah. See, usually when I see Hondas, there's never a green one. It's like such a rare color for the brand. I saw a pink Civic, though, yesterday when I was driving through Phillipsburg. I thought I was going to throw up. Dark green, okay, yeah. I kind of imagine it more as a brighter green, like the exact same shade of green as the engine oil and exclamation mark there. Like, I guess you could call that the check engine light thing. Like, if it were to be in the exact same shade of green as those three logos in the bottom right corner, that's kind of what I had in mind. But any green is okay. There we go. We passed my goal. I could be wrong, but I watched a movie in January called Grand Prix, which is a Formula One race from 1966. Well, a Formula One racing movie, I meant to say. And the main character, James Garner, eventually does end up driving for a Japanese businessman. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the brand they had was Honda. They don't mention it in the movie. I don't even think you can see the logo of the cars, but I want to say it's Honda. Alright, that should be everything we need. I really can't wait to unlock the Ultimate Edition, though. Oh, this is something else I wanted to talk about in the stream. Let me go back. This, I'm not going to do because I think you have to be in person in Milan, Italy. But this is pretty cool. Whoever decides to be a part of that, I wish them the best of luck. I'm going to have to check that out and see what it's like. Oh. It's probably just because I bought the NSX. I like, too, a lot of the facts they share with these cars. Yep, 1992. Now, hang on. The first generation NSX Type R was available over the course of a limited 3-year period run and then became an icon. 7 years later, a new NSX was shown as a concept car at the 2001 Tokyo Motor Show, reviving the legend. Why such a long period between Type R models? With the base NSX performance threshold already so high, engineers elected to wait for new cutting-edge automotive technology. Oh, okay. I thought the NSX was still in production between 1995 and 2002. Or maybe they had a few different models instead of the Type R. But let me show you something else I really like before we move to the Glen. This I was really happy to buy, and I mentioned this in my Radx Lap Attack episode. This car actually won a award for a Gran Turismo event. You can see right there is at the 2011 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, which I think is supposed to be Concours of Elegance, but I'm not an expert at French. I should learn more of the language, though. Two of my aunts are fluent in French. I guess one of them could teach me. New Sports, is that what SX stands for? Okay, nice. I had a feeling that was the case. Oh, I forgot the transmission. Alright, we'll worry about that later. Let's just focus on... Okay. I'm sure the top speed will be adjusted automatically. I'll adjust it later, though. It should be fine the way it is right now. Alright, off to the Glen. So, as I said, this race is going to be 30 laps. Oh, I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to forget. I had a feeling that was the case already. Like, I felt like I read that before. But either way, it's always a cool car. I can see why it's one of your favorites. Yeah, short course. This is the one I wanted to do. But I could have sworn there were a few more versions of this track available. Like, if you could race in the opposite direction, that would be pretty cool. Anyways, as I said earlier, we'll be doing 30 laps. I think I'll put myself in 12th this time. I usually don't like starting at the back, but you do get more money when you put yourself in a lower starting position. After this race is over, we'll be taking a 5-minute break because I need to walk my dogs. Oh, yeah. And this time, I think we'll set it to 5. Like, I don't want it to be too insane, but usually when you have gravity, having things go down, you generally have it go fast, like much faster than expected. We're also going to change the weather this time. We're going to have it a bit more cloudy. Equal conditions modes off. Yeah, let's do afternoon again. So let's see. Let's have it where it was set earlier. Then we'll have it become a bit more cloudy. I don't think we're able to get any rain on the tracks, though. Like, if we can get rain, fine. But I don't think there's a way to actually have the clouds release any rain onto the track. All right, let's see. What was the other one I wanted? It was lots of monsoon clouds. And then we'll just have the final two at here. Then, once again, we're going to do select from garage. That way I know I can have more of a challenge as I choose the cars myself. I don't even remember how much horsepower I have, so I might be making this a bit too hard for myself, but we'll see. I'm only looking down to see where I'm at. Okay, 572, and our car literally weighs a ton. Okay. But what the hell? Let's throw in a couple of Fords, since we're already down there. Alright, what else do I want? M3, I really got to drive that more often. That's one of my favorites. I like the 2007 model, which I do have, but like I said, I have to upgrade it more. Let's see. Pantera. Super B, that has more horsepower than us, so that again, that should give us a good run for our money. Ooh, that's not bad either, but I think I'll include this. What the hell? Let's throw in a couple of Nissans. Mitsubishi is my favorite of all the Japanese brands, but I also like a few cars that Mazda's made over the years. Speaking of which, oh yeah, there's my Mazdas. I only have a couple of Miatas, the Demio Laughing Face, and 2 RX-7s. This I'm definitely going to be using for a future Route X Lap Attack episode. But as I said in one of my earlier episodes, I intend to have the series come to an end. And when I do, I am actually going to have 4 cars appear in one episode. Now, how that's going to work out is it's kind of like what Top Gear did when they were testing out multiple cars at the same time. Like you had both cars on the screen at once. I am really looking forward to doing that. Just seeing 4 cars racing at once is really exciting. I'll throw in a couple more Corvettes to wrap things up here. The C3s and the C2 have more horsepower than my NSX, but I still have a feeling I might be able to stay in front because, like I said, horsepower is not always the deciding factor on who wins a race or not. You got to have a lot of other modifications too. I'm going to finish off my Blackberry Dr. Pepper before we start this race. All right, 30 laps in New York. Let's see how we do. I don't live in New York, but Watkins Glen is a few hours away from where I live. I think only 85 miles to be exact. And I've been meaning to go check out this place in real life. God, the engine sounds beautiful. Kamakishi, I'm glad you talked me into getting this thing. I mean, I was considering it either way, but I'm really glad you decided to bring this car up. The Corvette and Camaro are fighting for a position, so I'm going to let them screw each other up. See if I can find a way past them. Oh, wow. Corvette's got a gold helmet. Pantera bumped me. Now, even though the Route X Lap Attack series is coming to an end, I've still considered doing a similar series called Colorado Springs Lap Attack, which shows a bunch of different off-road cars basically doing the same thing, but instead of going around a 20-mile oval, you have some sharp curves going to the left and right. Oh God, I'm gonna hit the wall. Wait. Nope, I hit the wall. Damn you, M3. But back to what I was saying, Colorado Springs Lap Attack, that's another series I hope to do more cars in. In fact, you might have seen I have the Mercedes-Benz Unimog. I'm really excited to drive that car in the series, along with a few other cars. I also mentioned getting another Honda, the CR-V. That's going to be a lot of fun to drive. And maybe I'll also modify another SUV I've got, the Mazda CX-30. I also mentioned getting dirt tires for one of my Mitsubishi Lancers. That's definitely going to be in there. As a matter of fact, I did that for a future race, which I have to do to unlock certain things. But one thing I really like doing, I'll show you when this is over. You might already know about it. If you go into like a custom race mode, or like if you're choosing a track to race on, you can see there are certain challenges that the game wants you to do, and you can win prizes. Like, you just have to do one of the 5 races and you get a big amount of money, that being $100,000. I didn't mean to bump into the Mercedes there. Uh-oh. Damn it. God, I really love the way this thing sounds, though. The long course is a lot of fun, but I had to choose the short version of this course just to save time so that we could get enough time to enjoy the Michelin road course in Atlanta. I'm glad I had an early lunch, because when this race is over, all I got to do is just walk my dogs, and like I said, I'll only be going for 5 minutes. And I think I just saw a drone flying above us. Oh, damn it, I thought I had it, fuck. Oh, man. It was going so well. I had it under control. Oh, shit, thank you. Now, speaking of gone in 60 seconds, that Mach 1 is actually inspired from that movie. That has the yellow and black livery of Eleanor. I was going to mention something else, though. Since me and Lord Kamakishi talked about Twitch earlier, there's actually another Twitch streamer I want to recommend to you guys. That is Key and Enter. He also has a YouTube channel. I highly recommend you subscribe to him and watch his content. But I was enjoying one of his live streams last night, where he and a couple of his friends were playing Forza Horizon 5. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Forza Horizon 6 should be ready to play soon. I saw a few other people, not just in his live stream, but a few others, mention that Forza Horizon 6 should be in early access, which they started doing approximately 12 hours ago. Midnight, to be exact. It was 12 hours ago this morning. Car went a bit sideways there. And I love the way the engine sounds when you stop accelerating and you downshift. That's a beautiful noise. It's like... That went well. A lot better than the previous drift I attempted anyway. I can listen to this thing for hours. This is great. Oh, good save there. I was worried I was going to hit the wall. I'm glad I got off the gas when I did. We are 7 seconds behind the leader, and we are in 8th place, but I think the 7th place car is 2 seconds behind us. Almost out of nitrous. I might as well use the rest of it now while I can. Someone else I'm going to recommend you guys check out, Michael Rooks. He does a lot of NASCAR related stuff, and I actually saw that he was at Watkins Glen last Friday. He even had his name on a truck for the Craftsman Truck Series, the NASCAR race. Those of you that don't know, NASCAR races trucks. It's generally on Fridays, where the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series takes place on Saturday, and the Cup race is Sunday. Now, the clouds are starting to gather above us now, but like I said, I don't think there's going to be any rain. When you do a time trial, though, you're able to set certain tracks to have it set to rain. I don't think you can do that for every track, though. Like, I know the Nürburgring can have rain, Circuit de Spa in Belgium can have rain. I think the Tokyo Expressway also has rain, but not every racetrack in Gran Turismo allows you to have it to rain. I'm getting a bunch of notifications here. Oh crap. I should have just paused the game. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like pausing the game, but I just had to get rid of some notifications. Alright. Let's get back on track. Literally. Yeah, that is a drone. Oh no, that's a helicopter. Even better. I wouldn't mind having my own drone, but I'll tell you, when I went to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee 2 years ago, I had a lot of fun riding a helicopter through that town. The helicopter tour was amazing. Like, you can do helicopter tours, like, in a lot of other places. But I also recommend Pigeon Forge, because they had a lot of fun spots for you to go ziplining. And there's also Dollywood. You really need to check that out. And I didn't get a chance to do this while I was in that town, but there were also a couple of go-kart tracks and miniature golf courses. Whatever you choose to do in Pigeon Forge, you are going to have a blast. Alright, let's try and go one more lap before pitting, because I know our left rear is getting bad compared to the rest of the tires, but I think we can be fine till the end of this lap. I should probably stay off the rumble strips, because I remember my dad telling me when you go over a surface like that, it actually makes your tires wear faster. He wasn't talking about rumble strips, but he was talking about these bridges that have grates on them, which is not exactly the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. Uh-oh. Again, I didn't even get on the gas there. We're lapping a lot of cars, yet we can't catch up to the leader. At least we're in the top 5, though. That could be worse, all things considered. We're catching up to 4th place, who I assume is an Alfa Romeo. Okay. Yeah, let's go one more lap. I mean, I know that left rear's not getting any better, but I at least want to try and keep up with that Alfa. Work my way closer to the top. I had to get off the brake. I knew I didn't want to go into this area. Rear-ending the Alfa was not what I wanted to do, but that kind of did help in a way. I probably could take a shortcut through the bus stop, but that's not what I want to do. For those of you that don't know, that chicane we just drove through, that's called the bus stop. Surprisingly, no buses. Imagine that. Ooh, I saw a sign for Coca-Cola. One racetrack that's near me that I also want to see is Pocono. Now, Pocono's not in this game, but you do have a couple of tracks here similar to Pocono. Lake Louise, I mentioned earlier, despite being a snow track, is triangular like Pocono. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's also a track called Blue Moon Raceway. It's either Blue Moon or BB Raceway. Oh, that's perfect. Now we have enough fuel to finish the race. All we got to do now is just focus on tires, go to lap 20, and we should be fine. Trouble is, I lost positions. I'm not in the top 5 anymore. Just I made my way back to 9th. 10th, I mean, but we'll... Yep, there we go. Glad I got off the gas when I did. I wish you could refuel your nitrous once it gets empty. I mean, you're able to refuel your car. You're able to put more gasoline in there. Why not change the nitrous as well while you're at it? There's the M3 again. Ah, Kufa. Uh-oh. I thought I could avoid the Mitsubishi there, but I misjudged how far away he was. Fastest lap time is a 1:12.6. We got a 1:14.3 as our fastest time. Strangely enough, the leader is also the one that's at the fastest lap time. Well, I guess that shouldn't be strange. I mean, if he's kicking our butts by having the fastest lap time, naturally he's going to work his way up front and be ahead of everyone. But the driver with the fastest lap time isn't always necessarily the winner. You saw for yourself earlier at Daytona, we did not have the fastest lap time, yet we still won the race. And that's very common in many races. No matter what series you like, whether it's NASCAR, Formula One, motocross, anything, the race winner will not always necessarily be the fastest. Haven't honked the horn yet in this game, but I had to do that. I had to hear what this horn's like. I wouldn't say I'm a big horn fan, but they are fun to listen to. Train horns especially. In fact, I remember hearing a few people that put train horns on cars. This video might have been deleted from YouTube, but I remember around 11 years ago, some guy put a train horn on the Cadillac, and he had a lot of fun blowing that as he drove back and forth on this dirt road. Watch out. We pit 2 laps ago, and somehow our tires are still like at full health. Maybe it's because I haven't spun out or done anything stupid. I mean, I've been doing a bit of drifting here and there. And I have been hearing those tires squeal. I'm just kind of surprised that they haven't gone down to red. Like, I see a little bit of red, but I thought the red bars would be bigger, if that makes sense. Hello, Super B. Uh-oh. Goodbye, Super B. Uh-oh. You know, there actually is this one event that Gran Turismo has in this game where you do race on Watkins Glen that I really like, and that is the Music Rally. Before you hop into the actual game, in the main menu, they have this thing called Music Rally, and you can do a lap attack on several tracks where you try and go... Well, it's not necessarily a lap attack. You can do more than one lap if you're good enough. You basically have to drive a certain distance before a certain song comes to an end, and you're also timed for it too. And if the timer runs out, you automatically fail. For the music rally they have at Watkins Glen, they have this really cool disco song called Hooked on America. But instead of driving an American car, you have this 1950s Maserati convertible. It's a lot of fun. The exact same composer that did that song has a few other songs in the game that are used for other music rallies. Like there's one called Hooked on Classics. That's like one of the best disco songs of all time. And I also liked hearing it in American Made, a Tom Cruise movie. That's actually the very first time I heard that. There's the Z28 again. Hey, we're going to pass the leader. He's pitting. Ah, it was the Corvette. I had a feeling those C3s would give me a run for my money. They had more horsepower, but the one downside to having more horsepower is you burn more fuel. That's also why I decreased the weight on this car, because when your car weighs less, your engine doesn't have to work as hard. So obviously, when you have less weight, your engine can work more easily. It doesn't have to consume more fuel to make the car go as far. So it's all good. Hey, that's a good sign. I doubt we're going to get the fastest lap time, though. Just off by half a second, literally. So close, yet so far. I ain't too concerned about it, though. I mean, if I can keep building my gap and stay ahead of everyone else, that's all I care about. Ooh. Probably should have gone down to fourth, but we'll be all right. Head's starting to hurt a little bit. I was worried I was going to hit the barricade there as I entered the bus stop. I'm just glad I was able to avoid that. That drift went well, at least. Now the fastest lap time is 1 minute and 10 seconds. But we still have the lead, so I'm not worried. Considering how far we've went with these tires, I think we'll pit on lap 22 or 23. I'll get a better estimate as we continue driving. Okay, get out of the way, please. You'd think you'd get out of the way. He saw me coming. I guess that's one good reason to have flag settings turned on. He would have seen he would have been given the blue flag, and he would have been going out of my way there. You have to acknowledge the blue flag too, because if you don't, you get a black flag. I wanted to turn flag settings off though, because I didn't want any cautions stopping me or any of the other drivers. I just wanted things to play out the way it is. Like, we've had a few screw-ups, and yeah, we still made our way up front. Yeah, I think we'll pit on lap 23. I know he should have stayed in fourth. I don't know why he shifted down to third. Once again, not a bad drift. I think Sir Coke is closing in on us, the second place driver. Definitely got on the brakes a bit too soon there. But again, with that left rear, it's probably best if I go slower than normal so that the tire wear doesn't get too bad. Sorry for burping. I probably should pit, but this is why I wanted to wait till a couple more laps, because that way I know the tires will be in good condition and I can charge towards the ending while remaining in the lead, if that makes sense. Yeah, let's go one more lap. After the end of, like, at the end of this lap, then we'll go into change tires one more time. Then we should be good to go for the rest of the race without having to go back to pit road. Whoa, whoa, come on. Well, that could have been worse. Could have been better, but it still could have been worse. Sir Coke is closing in. I mean, I know they have that one letter that tells you what their first name is, but they don't tell you what it is. Like, it just has S Coke or K Tumisto, G Lee. G Lee's a pretty fun one. These are all random, by the way. I didn't make these up. They're all generated randomly. But considering that the second place driver is British, that's why I call him Sir Coke. Probably is a trillionaire. I mean, he's got enough money to afford a TVR. He's bound to afford a lot of other good things. Alright, so once again, we're just changing tires. Maybe we'll get a little bit more fuel. It said we had 10 laps of fuel remaining, but usually when you see that marker, like above your fuel gauge, there's like a little diamond that tells you how much fuel you can go until the end of the race. So that's why I got a little bit more fuel. Okay, I gotta change camera views. Wow, I got 4 different notifications on my flat screen just now showing like all the previous messages that Lord Kamakishi just posted. I think I should double check, see what's going on my phone just in case. Okay, we're good. I was worried something bad happened and his messages got deleted. I would really be upset if something or someone caused him to delete his messages. I wouldn't want that to happen to him. Okay, we're good. Going a little tiny bit sideways. So once again, even if we don't win this race, a top 5 is pretty respectable, or in this case, the top 3. But the leader just pitted. I assume Tuomisto, on the other hand, has not pitted yet. Like, you always want to assume they don't pit. You got to have that mindset so that you can always try and work hard to get the lead from them. You got to have that prepare for the worst and hope for the best mentality when you do this. Oh, now I hit the wall. Approaching lap traffic here. We got the Mach 1, the GT350, and another Mustang with the C1 Corvette. I painted that Hemi orange, believe it or not. I did that in a few of the older Gran Turismo games. But in the older Gran Turismo games, it was referred to as the Art Morrison Corvette. And it was a 1960 model, not a 1958. You got a few other cars in this game that are like that. You have like some random custom shop where like you have a Chevrolet, but it's not in the Chevrolet lineup. Like if you wanted to get the 1967 Nova, you'd have to get it under the Chris Holstom Customs thing. There's another one, if I'm not mistaken, that has a modified Mustang called the Mach 40. Which I think is pretty cool. I don't have it, but that's because I've been trying to save money for a few other things. Come on, you. Damn those lap cars. Oh, the 350's leading. So that's who I'm fighting against. This ought to be exciting. Now he got stuck behind the lapped car. Sometimes I feel like the lapped cars are just driving around for fun. Like, I'm not flooring it, I'm just gonna go slow. I thought if I approached that R32, like he would see me and floor it, but no, he just decided to go slower. He didn't brake check me, but I still feel like he let go of the gas on purpose. I'm not letting Tuomisto catch up to me, though. I gotta stay ahead of him. Uh-oh. I don't know why. I feel like I'm recreating a car chase in a movie. That Mustang should be dark green and I should be in a black car. If he catches up to me, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to make contact and force me to crash. That was my fault, though. You know, if this was an online race, the 350s driver would probably try and ram me off the track. But I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out in another live stream. I know I'm going to be playing this game again in a future live stream, and I'm definitely going to invite some of you guys to race with me. You don't even need a PS5 to have Gran Turismo 7. You could have a PS4. In fact, that's what I first used to play this game. The PS5 version, however, does have better features. I don't know what those are yet, because even though I'm playing this on my PS5, I still have the PS4 version. How is the Lancer still in 18th? Thought it would have made its way at least up 2 positions. There's the M3 again. Oh crap. Well, at least he's pitting. The TVR is definitely going to be a problem, though, if he catches up. Two laps to go, and I've got a close enough to a 9-second lead. I don't know how I avoided that last time. Like, I stopped, or I applied my brakes at the exact same spot where I did in the previous lap, and yet somehow I still went off course. My thumb's starting to fall asleep, so I guess it's a good thing I'm taking a brief break when this is over. I mean, I kind of have to because I have 2 dogs that I need to take outside and love and care for, but it'll still be nice to make my thumb feel better and also give my head a bit of a rest too. I think that's why when they do certain endurance races, you gotta have 3 drivers and they each take turns at driving the car. Because if you do it too long, eventually your head's gonna hurt and you need to rest. That actually went better than I expected. I don't know why I cut the corner like that, but I felt like I was going to go out of control and go sideways. All right, we got another driver in second, E. Savage, one of the C3 Corvettes I mentioned earlier. It feels so weird driving against my own car. Well, to be fair, like, every car I'm racing against is something I own, but still, I've never actually had someone go against me in that specific Corvette before. Getting close, but I think I can still stay ahead of him. There we go. That was not easy. I didn't even think I was going to win, to be honest. Okay. I am going to hop into the main menu for a brief bit. That way, when I come back, I'll be ready to do the 3rd and final race. I'm just going to type in a message for anyone new joining the stream. All right, so it is 12:47. I will return at... It's getting better. Oh, that's one of Lord Kamakishi's older messages. Anyways, I will return in 5 minutes. It is 12:47, so I will return at 12:52. Okay, I apologize for the late return. I was hoping to get back at 12:52, but it is now 12:58. So instead of 30 laps, we'll extend the race to 35 laps. And oh, hello. I'm going to save that for another time. I mean, that's probably just like a 3-lap race. I want this race to be 35 laps. We'll put ourselves at 19th this time, but instead we're going to have a grid start. Everything else is going to be the same with realistic settings. Only this time, just for the hell of it, I want to see what happens when we leave tire wear and fuel consumption at normal. We have no viewers right now. Oh, there we go. Someone's in. All right. Let's get back to what we were doing. Again, there's probably not going to be any rain. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. Ah, well. Let's, ooh, sunny with alpine mist. All right. Yeah, let's leave it at preset this time. Oh, wait. I wanted to change my car. I'm sorry, guys. And this time, we are going to have a one-make race. Yeah, I'll just make it 36 this time. That'll definitely make things more exciting with the normal tire wear and fuel consumption. All right, perfect. Everyone's going to have the exact same car as me. I told my friend Carl that I'd be driving this, a Carl Livingston. And you know what? Let's leave flag rules on this time. I just wish there was like more options you could have. Like you could keep certain flags and get rid of other ones, but all the flag rules are going to be on. So a caution flag, obviously we're going to have to go slower. Blue flags we'll have to give right away. Black flag, we're going to be penalized. Red flag, the race just stops entirely. But things should be fine. A nice tropical 7-Up. So once again, there's nobody here. Or I assume there is someone here. Hang on, let me check my laptop. Ooh, that's cool. I should actually start doing live streams on my laptop. I mean, I'm going to. I want to do a lot of train-related stuff, like where I play A New Era or Railroad Simulator, those games in the Trains franchise. They're a lot of fun. Maybe I'll also do some Train Town and maybe some old school Thing Thing. Thing Thing was a lot of fun. I had fun playing those Flash games. I think the very first one came out in 2005. I know Thing Thing 2 came out in 2005. I was actually playing that last night. But I'm going to have a lot of fun doing a live stream where I play as many of the games as I can. They should all be playable on Newgrounds. I think there might be like 1 or 2 games in the franchise that aren't there, but it's still pretty cool. All right, participants. Yeah, I'm the only one watching the live stream right now. is everybody? I mean, do I really have to cancel the live stream early? All I did was say that I was going to go take a 5-minute break. What gives? Oh, wait. We got 2 watchers. Good. Good, good, good. All right. Let's get this started then. Well, went down to 1, but hey, at least someone's watching. So my yellow paint scheme, as you can tell, is based off of the Union Pacific's Armor Yellow. I wasn't able to do the exact Union Pacific livery, though, so I ended up doing a heart instead, blue with red and white stripes. But hey, if you love America, that's appropriate, you know? You gotta have a heart to show that you love the United States. Now, unlike the other 2 cars I drove, this does not have nitrous. So this is definitely going to be challenging, and someone has just gone sideways. Gotta remember to be my best behavior, though, because of those penalties, or the flag rules. God, the engine on this thing sounds phenomenal. I love it. So noisy, though. I had to turn the volume down on my headphones. It's kind of amusing, though, seeing like the exact same cars, like 20 of the exact same cars racing each other. This is like the one-make race I did on Colorado Springs, where I had everyone driving a 1945 Jeep. If you look up on my YouTube channel, you'll see a video called 15 Laps with 20 Jeeps. That's the race I did. It was a lot of fun. Now we're doing 36 laps with 20 Camaros. I thought about doing the Roblox Camaro, but we just don't have enough time to do both. Oh, that was kind of you. Thank you. Uh-oh. This thing's a bit slidier than I would have remembered. Like, it slides more easily than I thought it would. Just like with my CA Corvette, I am definitely going to have to make some adjustments to the suspension. The tires are fine. You can see I'm using racing medium. I mean, I probably could do racing soft, but suspension really helps too when you want your car to have good grip. Jesus Christ, we're 14 seconds behind the leader. This is not good. Well, even though flag rules are on, I don't think there actually is a corner cutting penalties, so... I mean, I did cut a couple of corners earlier and I didn't get penalized for that, and I just cut a corner just there and I didn't get penalized for it, so... I think that should, allow us to work our way back up front, if I can get out of the grass here. "18 seconds behind the leader." With tire wear and fuel consumption left at normal, will we even need to pit? I'm slowing down just to be safe because I don't want to go too fast and end up making my car go airborne. I made that mistake with the C4 Corvette. I think there I did 35 laps. I don't really remember. This ain't going well. Everyone else is kicking my ass right now. Oh, did I shift into third and then go into fourth? I didn't mean to do that. I didn't even think I got into third. That's why I hit R2 twice. Alright, we can at least gain a few positions here. That's very important right now. Don't do it. Fuck. I was worried I was going to go into pit road and force myself to go slower. I am just really glad I avoided that. I haven't driven on this track in a long time. I sometimes forget that it's actually in Georgia. Because usually when you mention Atlanta, you think of the NASCAR track, which is now referred to as Echo Park Speedway. Here, this is just called Michelin Raceway. With that in mind, I wouldn't be surprised if this actually was in Michigan. Or if they had a track in Michigan called Michelin Raceway. Things change over time, you know, like Laguna Seca and the older Gran Turismo games was referred to as the Mazda Raceway. Now here it's called the WeatherTech Raceway. Same thing with the road course at Sonoma. That used to be called Sears Raceway, and then Infineon Raceway. Now it's referred to as Sonoma. But I like the second name better, Infineon Raceway. Of course, that was only in existence from 2003 to 2012. The track still exists, but as I said, it's simply called Sonoma, because that's the name of the town it's in. I think it's at least a few miles away from Napa, because I remember a video where Kevin Harvick and Dale Earnhardt Jr. snuck into the Fox booth, and they actually showed a sign of Napa saying that it was the best wine-growing region. At least one of the best, anyway. I'm sure there's a few European spots where they claim to have better wine, but, you know, there are certain things where people will like better. But I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few Europeans that had better beer brands. I mean, I feel like the quality of the ingredients they use might be better. I rarely drink beer. I have no interest in it anyway, but, you know, I'm sure there's still a few spots like Germany or the Netherlands where their beer is better. You'll also never catch me smoking a cigarette. That is never something I'm going to do. Or drugs, for that matter. Anything with nicotine or tobacco, cocaine, weed, I'm never doing any of that. I mean, I can understand why some people do it, Like if you're having a bad day or if things aren't going your way, but you know, that's no excuse to waste money and decrease your health and potentially commit suicide. Gotta rise up to the occasion. Don't let the drugs beat you. Gotta stay positive and do your best and not go down that path. As a matter of fact, I remember a TV show where they had a couple of teenagers do drugs, but one of them actually said that drugs are for losers. I mean, I know I'm not winning. You might call me a loser at this moment, but I am still not doing drugs. Plus, I already won 2 races earlier in this live stream. I'd say going 2 for 3 ain't bad. We're not even close to like the end of the race. I mean, I could still gain a few spots and pass the leader. I really got to improve the suspension though. I know I said it already, but this thing is very, very bouncy. Usually when a car is bouncy, that's not good for you. Got to make the suspension more stiff so that I can concentrate on delivering all its power to the road. Please stop trying to push me. Thank you. Now, when I mentioned Buick earlier, I said that they were going to have a sedan in production next year. I think they're also having the Camaro come back, but I also remember hearing that that was going to be a sedan as well. But they're still going to have it as a 2-door muscle car. And I think also an SUV. I mean, I know that's a few years ago, but things can change over time, and maybe General Motors be like, yeah, having a Camaro SUV is stupid. Let's not do that. They also considered doing that for the Corvette, and yet I still haven't seen any of those, and I don't think we ever will. But, like I said earlier, it would still be cool to see, like, 2 different models of... there's Lord Kamakishi's messages again. I don't get why his messages keep popping up like that. And I don't even think he's here anymore. At first, I was worried that his messages got deleted, and that's why they were popping up, but that hasn't happened, and I hope it never does. Hey, we're in 10th. Nice. We're also catching up to the leader. We got 13 seconds. Got a quarter of tank empty, so we got 75% fuel remaining. I am surprised that none of the AA drivers are trying this. Uh-oh. Glad I kept that thing from going sideways and hitting the wall. I was considering adding Union Pacific lettering onto this car like I did with my Camaro in Motorfest, but I decided to keep things simple and just add that heart in the hood. And in Motorfest I also was considering adding the UP logo, but again, they just didn't have the right shape. So for my 64 NASCAR Camaro, I simply decided to have the lettering. But when I had the 1971 Camaro in the Crew 2 from 2018, instead of a heart or the UP logo, I added the star. I still had Union Pacific lettering on the sides. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, I'm glad I avoided him. Fourth place now. Uh-oh. There we go. That's the moment you all wanted to see. Somehow we're still green. I put the flags on too. How did the yellow not come out? Crap. Crap, 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 crap. Get out of the grass. Grass is ass. Oh, I did not need that, but whatever. Well, he screwed himself up trying to wreck me. That is a fine how do you do. A fine form of comeuppance, if I may say so. We should be able to go a few more laps before we go into pit road. I know the left rear is not good, but we can still move around here and there. Didn't mean to hit the mic, I'm sorry. I just had to scratch my nose. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I did a wheelie. That's the thing I did with my C4 quart. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Good recovery. Crap. Fuck, that was a good recovery on my part, too. I was worried we were going to hit that other car, and, nope, now we hit him. I was trying to avoid him, though. Brake check much? Good thing this is just a race, otherwise the police would pop up out of nowhere and we'd have to exchange insurance information. Nobody wants to see that. Imagine if that actually did happen in a race. You have two cars collide and then they park, they pull over to exchange information, and the race official's like, what the hell are you guys doing? We're exchanging information because we crashed our cars. That's not how racing works. Besides, they already know the team what their rivals are working for. All the information can be exchanged. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, fuck. Well, we came to a stop, so I might as well pit now. Probably gonna drop down to 20th, but I don't care. Man, the engine sounds nice. Yep, we're 20th. Ah, well. Could you imagine a Union Pacific high rail having this paint scheme? I mean, usually when you see trucks owned by railroads, they're like a plain white, and you only see the logo on the door, like CSX or Norfolk Southern. I think Union Pacific also does that. I know BNSF does. I actually saw an Amtrak car at work a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't a high rail, though. It was just a normal Chevy Blazer. Again, it was just in plain white, and it only had the railroad logo on the door. Backfiring sounds good, too. Hey, I got the fastest lap. Holy shit. Wouldn't be surprised if that changed, though. Actually, you know what? That might not change. I almost forgot because I keep cutting this corner here while nobody else does. That went well, sort of. Prevented me from catching up to the other cars, but I see him. I can make good progress and try and work my way back up to the top. Even though I pitted prematurely, I'm sure some drivers will also have to pit as well. I seriously thought the field wouldn't be this spread out by much. I mean, sure, you've got some drivers that are better than others, but I honestly thought that everyone would be racing closer to each other because, you know, all these cars have the exact same performance stats. Uh-oh. Sorry. Thought I'd be able to get out of his way in time, but I cut him off. I got 12th though, so that's fine. We got a chance to catch 10th place. Sorry. Misjudged how much steering I needed to pass that guy. Crap. I wonder who that was. It's nothing. Just a slideshow Google Photos made for me. If it was a YouTube message or someone talking on the stream, I would already see it on the screen of my television. Which nobody's done since I went to walk my dogs and take that 5-minute break. What I thought was going to be a 5-minute break, but ended up being a 10-minute break instead. Damn it. This is why you gotta get that suspension. Make it more stiff. Car seems to be okay for the most part, but you know, you gotta give it better suspension so it doesn't bounce and make it harder for you to control. Almost to the halfway point. We just got to go a couple more laps. Fuck me, how are we 25 seconds behind? Well, 24 now. Uh-oh. All right. Good recovery there. And someone's going in the grass. I can safely say I did not make any decisions to force him to go in there. Well, I hear the helicopter. That is cool. All right, gap's getting shorter now between me and the leader. I was hoping he wouldn't try and take the right side, but I think I can... What are you doing? Use your mirrors, asshole. Third. The best position we've been in so far. Kind of helps too that someone just rear-ended us, because now we got some more momentum to get back towards the front. It's only 11 seconds between me and the leader, and 7 seconds between me and the second place driver. There's the chopper. Damn it. I ended that drift a bit too sooner than I would have liked to. That one also quite didn't go as planned, but still better. I probably should lay off the drifting so I can keep my tires in good condition. Oh God. Well, at least I'm getting towards the leader. Perfect frost. I assume that's what the P stands for. I mean, they don't tell you, so you just have to guess. One time, I think this was the same race I did with the C4 Corvette. I also saw a guy named A. Silvestri, so I assumed it was Alan Silvestri, the same guy that composed the soundtrack for Back to the Future. Instead of the C4 Corvette, I should have driven the DeLorean. I think I actually put Silvestri in the Corvette, in the DeLorean, now that I think about it. But again, it's in that video, 35 laps at Michelin. It's a two-parter if I'm not mistaken, because when I did this on my PS4, I only have a 60-minute limit when I upload videos from my PlayStation onto YouTube. So with that in mind, I had to put the race into two separate parts. Oh God, I think I did another wheelie. Those poor cones. They had a wife and kids. Each of them. Their families will dearly miss them. This got deleted, but I remember a speed run that someone did on Fallout. I don't remember which version of Fallout, but the person playing the game said she wanted to have sex with as many different characters as possible, and she actually needed a cone to get to part of the map, and she called him Coney. And I like the face that was made for Coney. Even the one where he got shot, I mean, it was sad. I didn't like seeing him be sad. I didn't like seeing him dead, but it was still fun how that face was drawn for him. Well, I thought I was going to hit the wall there. I'm glad I didn't. Oh, God. We went on two wheels. That was cool, but I'm hoping not to do that again. Back to my Monza race with the Lancer I did a while ago. The one time I tried not to have my car go airborne, and I end up doing that, which I will show you at the end of this race. Please give me a reminder in case I forget. we're 4 seconds in front of everyone, or at least the second place driver. If I can just keep doing what I'm doing, we're fine. I might actually be able to do a lap without cutting the corner for once. I only did that because I don't want to be in last, and I really did not want to be 30 seconds behind the leader. Okay, nope. Good enough, I suppose. I mean, it could have been worse. Oh, another cone. If this was an online lobby, someone would definitely want to have that cone travel a very far distance from where it spawned. I can imagine someone pushing it to here maybe, or somewhere in the middle of the track to confuse drivers and be like, hey, you can't go this way. Why not? This is the way it tells us to go. Screw you. Same thing with those blue barricades in the grass there. I don't know why I shifted to 5th. I should have just stayed in 4th. They're catching up. Not by much, though. Uh-oh. Yeah, the grass on that corner is very bumpy, so you really got to be careful with where you go. I don't think I hit the cone. I was trying to, though. Kind of looked like my tires went through it, and it just ignored physics. Cone's like, I don't exist anymore. I'm a ghost. Alright, now they're 1 second behind. Oh well. If we have to, we'll cut the corners again. There's the helicopter again. Now this time I actually used my e-brakes to stop the drift, because I was sliding and I turned in the opposite direction that I wanted to go in, and I eventually stopped it from drifting. Pretty useful, wouldn't you say? Oh. Looks like a few of those other cars went sideways as well. We're doing fine, though. Once again, like I said earlier, it's funny seeing like multiple of the cars that look exactly the same just racing each other. You can't tell who's gonna win. I mean, you probably can, but it gets challenging at first. Fuck. Ah, man. Alright, we're definitely cutting the corners again, that's for sure. And once again, since we already came to a stop, I might as well pit for fresher tires. Fuck. I probably didn't need to get fuel, but considering that it gave me an extra bit in a short period of time, I just figured, what the hell? Let's get some extra fuel while we can. Now hopefully we can go the rest of the race without having to pit ever again. Just like with the first pit I did at lap 12, it just made sense for me to do that since I was already at a stop. Well, I wonder what kind of chaos I'll be able to cause this time. If I get hit by a car and I end up landing on my roof, that's going to be insane. Narrowly avoided it. I swear, someday it's going to happen when I do this. Oh, that wasn't good. But to be fair, someone else was trying to do that to me, and he's still doing it to me. He's lucky I recovered. Alright, we're in the top 5 now. We got 19 seconds behind the leader. Once again, we got to cut them corners. Oh, wow. We slowed down very quickly there. Oh, wow. Shouldn't have needed to get on the brakes there, but whatever. Sorry for burping. Oh, crap. I didn't think I was going to recover from that. That was, needless to say, a lot better than I anticipated. Oh, that was cool. The engine sounded like... Also, like with the Challenger, I might consider adjusting the transmission so that I try to get less wheel slip as I accelerate. I don't know how successful I'll be at that, but still worth a try. I think I just ended up on 2 wheels again. Oh, you fucker! God damn it! See, this is why you always avoid the correction thing. I have that off too, yet it still forced me to go backwards. Cocksucker. At least I'm in third. I mean, if I could get 3 wins in a row, fine. But if I have to settle for a top 3, I'm okay with that too. I at least want to get closer to the leaders. I cannot be 17 seconds behind. All right, let's do it right this time without getting reset. Thank you. Maybe I don't need to adjust the suspension. I mean, if I can just do the transmission to get the wheel slip under control, then maybe I don't need to adjust the suspension. I mean, it could be less bouncier, but if I just fix the transmission to give it a slower rate of acceleration, then it should be fine and I shouldn't have to worry about wheel slip. Maybe I should try and adjust traction control. Just like with the Corvette, I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. Uh-oh. Oh wait, I'm in first? Holy fuck! I saw some cars pitted. I think that was the case with Herb and Frost. I didn't see that. I thought they were still ahead of me. God damn. I mean, I knew it'd make my way back to the front, but I didn't think it was going to be that quickly. Alright, I should have stuck in third. I didn't want to downshift to second on that last corner. Uh-oh. I gotta get my head out of my ass and concentrate here. I got fresher tires than I do, so I really gotta be careful. I probably should continue cutting the corners, but I'll only do that if they pass me. There's probably no one in chat trying to tell me, hit the cone, hit the cone. I will next time I go around, though. I'm gonna adjust traction control one more time. Hey, I didn't have to shift the fifth for once. That's a nice change. How did Moru get a faster lap time than they? What is this witchcraft? I forgot. I didn't hit him. Well, I didn't forget. I just missed because I had to adjust my car. We'll get him next time, though. You'll see. Crap. Okay, not good, but I am just glad I recovered when I did. Someone. Oh, it's Frost. He really does not want me to have this lead, does he? That wasn't a bad drift on his part. Alright, let me try not to cut the corner this time, because I want to try and hit that traffic cone. And it looks like I'm going to have to cut the corner anyway. At least I now have enough time to prepare for its doom. Aha, I moved. I saw it go closer to the grass. Now, to concentrate on getting the lead back from Frost. I cannot lose to a Brit. I just cannot. He's still drifting. I'm a bit surprised. I mean, drifting is fun, but when you really want to go through a corner quickly, you don't drift. That's how it's done. We got the lead. Just 3 more laps remaining. That reminds me, there should be a new 007 game coming out this month. Did I say 007? I meant to. Kind of it sounded like I said 007, which I was not trying to do. But, I think it's supposed to be a prequel. I read that it's supposed to show, like, James Bond as he's literally starting his career with MI6, and I'm excited to see how that goes. I guess I got on the brakes a bit too early there, didn't I? Frost is never going to catch up to me if he keeps drifting like that. Alright, we got 4 seconds between me and Frost. Fuck! How did I go sideways like that? That wasn't supposed to happen. Doesn't matter. I can still maintain the lead here. Like I said, if I somehow end up losing the race, fine, but I'd really like to have 3 wins in a row here. I already won Daytona and Watkins Glen. I didn't even think I was going to win Watkins Glen. And with how things were going earlier with me in last place, I really didn't think I was going to win here. But I remained vigilant. I remained positive. And now I shall triumph in victory. Although that reminds me, there's a car company called Triumph. Well, they make motorcycles now, but they used to make cars at one point. I think it'd be cool if they were drivable in the game too. Last lap. If I can just keep my cool and not lose control of the car like that. If I can avoid making mistakes like that, I should be okay. Once again, I should have just stayed in third instead of shifting down to second. Hey, he learned his lesson. He didn't drift. He's not going to have what it takes to catch up to me, though. It's close. It's close. He's not going to win. Okay, we're good. He's too far away. We got this. All right. Just in time, too. Live stream was scheduled to end at 2 p.m. I mean, I probably could have gone longer if I wanted to, but you know, I like to give you guys a good understanding of like when I'm streaming, so you know what to expect. Now, like I said, I am not going to have any live streams on YouTube for a couple of weeks. I might have something on Twitch, but I'll probably wait till June before my very first Twitch stream. As usual, you guys will be notified in the posts section of my homepage. All you got to do is just go all the way to the right, find the tab that says posts, and you'll see a lot of messages that I type that keeps you guys informed on when I'll be doing my live streams and what time they occur. But I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you'll see me again next time.